Welcome to Inner Peace with Dr. Reese, a program that can help you become liberated in the modern world. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kevin W. Reese.
Do you have a pain body? Welcome to episode number 75. The pain body is something that one should be very, very aware of. You're walking through this life, through this existence, with a pain body, and if you can see it, if you can acknowledge it, then you can fix it. Before I get to our one-on-one talk that we do every 5 episodes, I want to remind you that you can get the video versions of these interviews as well as tons of bonus content on the private Patreon page. You could download the app right on your phone and log in and go to Inner Peace with Dr. Reese and become a member. And in that membership, you and I will be able to talk even more together. And your generosity will go towards raising a budget so more people can hear these episodes. So, are you wounded? What's happened to you? Whether you were 6 years old or 16 years old or 36 years old, what happened to you in your life that was traumatic? The pain body is an energy field within you that is built on all the trauma and all the drama that you have taken in your entire life. And we develop, now some people call them wounds or shadows. Just for the sake of language and explanation, I think pain body registers the best. It explains it the best. That you have this secondary body that you can't see, and it's full of anger, jealousy, fear, abandonment issues. There's all this built up tension inside of you. And anyone can trigger it at any moment. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, I knew of a young kid, middle school, early teens, 12, 13, 14, 15 in there. And he would get so mad at his mom that he would attack her. Nothing life-threatening, but he would push her or, whack her in the arm. And, he didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to whack my mom. He was triggered. So, if his mom told him to put the video games away or stop watching TV, you need to do your homework or whatever, he would get very upset. And, an argument would turn physical. You may not be surprised to know that this kid grew up with a handicap. So you see, when you understand the pain body, you can look at this situation and you can see that he was upset over his handicap that he grew up with, and clearly upset with mom. Whether he blames mom or whether she's just a trigger, he's looking to release his pain in a violent manner. The pain body can be triggered very easily from someone in a lower conscious state. Some people it happens all the time, and some people it doesn't happen all the time. It just brews and brews and it just sits there. And then one day somebody triggers you and boom. And this is what we see with the school shootings, which in America is clearly a problem. When you get some 15-year-old high school kid who says enough is enough, I'm sick of being bullied, or I'm just sick of this life, and he walks into school with a bulletproof vest on and a semi-automatic weapon, and he just starts shooting anything that moves, he's releasing his pain body. Okay? When racism happens in this country, when a cop performs social injustice on an African American, and you're at home and you're black and you got kids and you see that on TV, it triggers your pain body. It's almost like a PTSD. For me, one of my pain bodies was abandonment. Through my life, so many women who I dedicated myself to, would leave. Or they went with another guy. And then as all the years I was in business, so many people wouldn't stay. It's like I was too much for them or something. I was too ambitious, too energetic. And people would just leave. Like, oh, I don't want to work with him. And so many people come and go that I develop an abandonment thing. So then when I finally found someone that liked me, I'd hold on for dear life. And if they try to leave in any way, or even just a fight, you get scared. Oh my God, what if she leaves? Oh my God, what if she leaves? Then you turn into a whiny little bitch. A beggar. All because of the pain body. Some people might call this insecurities. But the pain body makes more sense. Think about it. Think of an energetic field around you that's full of all the trauma that's happened to you since you came out of your mom's womb. Not only did I have abandonment issues, but I had a lot of anger. A lot of anger. Inequity is what a therapist once called it. Inequity, because I worked so hard. I've never been a lazy guy. I always worked really, really hard at everything I did. And I didn't have any finances to show for it. And at first it was like, whatever, it'll come. It'll come. I just got to put in the work. But by the time 25, 26, 27, 28 rolled, the closer I got to 30, it was going to explode. I remember turning 27 and being like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be 30 in 3 years. I got to make more money. Because 30 is so real. 30 is so real. That pain body, man. That inequity. I was angry. Can't get what I want. Don't have enough money. My car doesn't match up with my status. Because I was K-Dubbasis running this from Hot 93.7. And girls were intrigued with me. And all the underground rappers wanted to know me. And people would let me in the club. Oh, that's K-Dub, let him in. Hi, what's up? And every now and again, I'd even take a picture with someone or sign an autograph. But I'd go home and look at my bank account and be like, what the heck is going on? And a lot of people suffer from inequity. And it builds up anger. I lived with my parents until I was 28, I want to say. Very difficult. And embarrassment kicks in. Start becoming embarrassed. Meet a woman. And, she sees you're on the radio. You got your thing going on. And she's like, take me to your place. Like, Well, you can come through after 10. Sneak you through the hatchway, because I got a basement that's done up nice. But it brings forth an anger, an embarrassment, a pain body. You know what I'm talking about. You have one. Don't you? Did you lose a loved one? Are you unhappy with your job, your career? Are you unhappy in your relationship or your marriage? Did you have a car accident when you were a kid? Are you handicapped? Are you paralyzed? Did you flunk out of school? Did you get broken up with? Did you lose a dog? What's your pain body? Because trauma is going to happen in this life. It's the way it works. PTSD. Military people go through it all the time. Some people in the ghetto or the projects go through it because they're born into poverty, which breeds the drug business, violence, pimping, things like this. What's your pain body? Are you carrying it around with you? And some of you have it suppressed. And all this stuff happened to you, and then you get into some relationship with someone, everything's going great, and one day they trigger you. And they look at you like, whoa, I didn't sign up for that. Who the heck is that? And you're like, oh, hey, that's my pain body. Okay, well, I didn't marry that. Your pain body, of course, is run by your ego. And we've talked about ego a million times in this podcast, and I'd like to reiterate that ego doesn't mean arrogance or cockiness. Stop thinking that. That's slang. Ego, otherwise known as your false self, is the feeling inside you that you're important, the feeling inside you that you have control, the feeling inside you that relates to your story, your identity. This is me. This is what I've been through. Your pain body represents your past. It's your past. But I've been told you, you're here now. You're not in the past. It already happened. We need to dissolve this pain body in order to reach inner peace. I'd like to help you do that. This podcast is here for you. It's free. The Patreon costs a little bit of money because we need to raise money, but it's there. Talk to other people. Talk to me. Get the information you need to start working on this. Start dissolving that pain body. Because you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. I understand some things crazy happen to you. I get it. I remember this story this woman told me. She reached out for help for me. She says, Dr. Reese, I have severe anxiety. I said, well, what do you think caused it? She says, well, it's hard to talk about, but one day I was sleeping with my daughter in the bed. We're just relaxing. And she's like, my baby's father walked in the room, woke me up, pointed a gun at me, and shot me in the arm, and then turned the gun on himself and killed himself. Right there. In front of the kid. And the other kids were in the other room. Oh, yeah. Dissect that. She now has an even bigger pain body from that incident. The kid now has a pain body from that incident. And the father that did the shooting and killed himself had a pain body. The pain body is the whole reason why he performed that act. He was hurting. He was suffering. Hurt people hurt people. It's a cycle. It doesn't have to be this way. If you could understand just how this works, forget psychology. In fact, I want to say, and I have said on this podcast many times, to be careful of therapy. So some people might be like, therapy? Why would you denounce therapy? Well, I don't denounce it completely. I denounce it long term. And I'm speaking from experience. I did 5 years of therapy, and I dated a therapist for 2 years. So technically that's 7 years. Okay? I have experience with therapy. And did I learn some things? I did. Did I get some help? I did. But you have to understand, if you keep going to therapy week after week after week, and that turns into years after years after years, that means that you are just getting into a state of complaining. Because what else are you going to talk to a therapist about? You're complaining. It's cathartic. So it's pretty good in the beginning. But once you get into year 2, year 3, year 4, you're just complaining. You're just creating negative energy. So, okay, go to therapy for a year. I'm down for that. But eventually you need to break up with that therapist, and you need to listen to the Inner Peace podcast. And you need to start understanding these concepts. Understand what the ego is and how it works. Understand the pain body and how it works. Understand meditation and how it works. The conscious eye, understand it, how it works. Understand self-inquiry and openness and things like this. Understand your true self, your beingness. Understand the difference between lower consciousness and higher consciousness. When you're in lower consciousness, that's where the racism is. That's where the anger is. That's where the sexism is. That's where the lust is. That's where the violence is. That's where the jealousy is. The higher consciousness, not so much. No. The higher consciousness is beautiful. And super consciousness is a whole other animal. So I can't sit here and tell you that I'm in that category of super consciousness, because I'm not. You have to listen to Prem Vishrant episodes 42. Coming up, episode 77. You have to listen to Daizan Roshi and Dr. Gabriel Cousins and folks like that on this podcast. But I understand higher consciousness. Higher consciousness is the state of inner peace and contentment. And eventually one day, that can instantly turn to superconsciousness, which many would call enlightenment or self-realization. But higher consciousness, it's a beautiful thing. You have this feeling of love. Your heart just shoots out like a Care Bear. And you understand, and you don't get wrapped up into all this political and religious nonsense. You don't take a side. You look at someone like Donald Trump, who, first of all, people take sides. They love him, they hate him. If you're in higher consciousness, you're just an observer. There is no taking sides. And people may wonder, well, why is he aggressive? Why is he a bully? Why does he do this and do that and this and that? Because he has a pain body, just like you. Do you think Adolf Hitler was in higher consciousness? He had a pain body, just like you. Some murderer out there, some Ted Bundy, or some other serial killer that there was, why? Why are they doing it? Because hurt people. They have a pain body combined with an obsession. When the pain body combines with an obsession, watch out. So yeah, therapy, 1 year, 2 years max. Don't get caught in the cycle. You're going to spend a lot of money. And the therapists like that. They want you to come back and back and back and back and back and back. Got news for you. Therapists need therapists. Because they're taking on all your negative energy all day long. From client after client after client. And now they have a pain body. Even bigger pain body. In fact, most therapists become therapists because of their pain body. Because they've been through... Therapists have been raped. They've been, victimized. They've been, through heartache after heartache. And then eventually they say, I want to help people. So they go to school and become a therapist. We got to let go. Let go. Dissolve the pain body. We do this by paying attention to our mind. Watch it. Watchfulness. What I described inside the first 12 episodes as the conscious eye. Use your conscious eye. Imagine. Close your eyes right now. And you better not be driving. You're not supposed to be driving. I constantly tell you, if you want to do this podcast correctly, then you need to sit down and relax or lay down and relax. Make the time. I promise you, it will pay off. Imagine an eye about a foot above you. Close your eyes and visualize it. And this eye looks down on your body, on your emotions, and on your thoughts. And watch everything. Pay attention to everything. Don't get caught up in the dream world. The mind is your frenemy. It's your friend, but your friend is out of control. And if it's going left and right and and past, future, it's out of control. And you're just whisking yourself into this fantasy world. And you think about this incident that happened to you 20 years ago or whatever it is, or last week, and you just over and over and over and over again, you're creating a pain body. And now people can come in and trigger you. Once you learn this stuff, you'll see it in other people too. You'll notice. Once you say something and they get triggered, you're like, whoa. Ooh. This person's got some anger. Or, ooh, this person is really scared. The pain body, because it's part of the ego, it wants to survive. It's a survival mechanism. So there's an identity to it, an attachment to it. People love to be attached to their problems all the time. I witnessed this when I had clients, when I had my holistic health practice and I was working with sick people. Someone, let's just say migraines, right? They approach me. They're like, hey, I got migraines. I've been suffering for 10 years. Is there anything you can do to help it? I say, well, not only can I help it, but I can tell you how to get rid of it permanently. And they're like, whatever. No way. You're crazy. You're a charlatan. You're a witch doctor. You're a fake. Snake oil salesman. Deep down, They have a pain body. They don't want to get rid of their migraines. They need that suffering. They need that sympathy. Not everybody wants to be free. They want to hold on to it. They're attached to their pain body. You know, pain feeds on pain. There's no joy in that. There's no happiness in that. It's like this dark shadow. You're just walking around with this dark shadow following you. And it's just controlled by your ego, your false self. You got to shine the light on it. You got to start paying attention. When anger pops up, when jealousy pops up, when fear pops up, when pride pops up. Ooh, how about vanity? That's a big one these days with social media, right? You see all the women setting their thirst traps. Why? Why would a woman set a thirst trap? And for those that don't know what that is, that's a provocative, sexy picture. And they typically do it in the stories. And then, of course, guys comment on it or leave an emoji. And what's it do? It's like a drug. It's like a drug because it's attention. That's what vanity does. It's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like eating chocolate or, you know, having sex, eating your favorite meal, whatever. It's like it just provides, ooh, it feels good. Ooh, 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 the guys like me. and men do it too, right? If they're in shape, they show their abs or whatever. And the women, ooh, you're so sexy. No, it's vanity. That's a pain body. I can tell you that a very attractive woman may have issues that have nothing to do with her attractiveness. But by her putting her attractiveness out there, that good feeling covers up the bad stuff. So that good feeling suppresses the pain body a little more. You get it? Distraction. Call it distraction. That's why we watch Netflix and go to the movies or whatever. We're distracting ourselves from being with ourselves. So we have to get rid of this dark shadow. We have to get rid of this pain body. If you want to walk through this world, then be vulnerable. Just do it. Just open your heart and be vulnerable. Take the hits. Take them. Take them. If somebody wants to wound you, take the wound. Put the wall down and just be open. Don't be afraid to get in that relationship. Try it. Use it as a device. You'll see where they're aggravating you, where they're triggering you. Notice your triggers. Notice what's triggering you, what it is. Be your own detective. Say, ooh, this person just said ABC and I got angry. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Wait a second. Why is that? All right, you don't want to get too deep because then it's the mind doing analyzing. We don't want to analyze too much. Just recognize it. Just keep recognizing it, and it will eventually fade away. Your pain body can be dissolved. Acceptance is a big part of it. If you go into a new relationship or you buy a new car, take a moment and accept that not only can beautiful things happen with this new venture, some messed up things can happen too. This person you're getting in a relationship with, they could break up with you in 2 months. They could say, this ain't working. And it'll hurt. That new car that you got, somebody could run a carriage into it in a Walmart parking lot or something, or somebody you can get into a traffic accident. And what? Acceptance. This is the mystic way of the heart. Acceptance. Accept it. I have a pain body and I get triggered. I get angry. I get jealous. I have grief. Whatever it is, I have vanity. I know I have vanity issues. I used to have vanity issues. I did. Until spring 2018. I've probably posted 2 or 3 selfies in 2 years. And I just did it because some people are like, you kind of best for business if you show yourself every now and again. We're always looking for a way to make ourselves feel good. But if you dissolve the pain body and you live with openness and you start elevating the higher consciousness, you start swimming in beauty, in love, in awareness. Drop these mechanisms and be free. Your mind is supposed to work for you. It's not supposed to work you. You're not supposed to work for your mind. Your mind is supposed to work for you. It's like when you walk a dog. The dog's not supposed to drag you all over the place. You're supposed to be in control of that dog. So train your dog. I hope this one-on-one talk served you today. And I hope that you'll consider becoming a member of the private Patreon page, patreon.com/Dr. Reese. I would like to get to know you better. Now, perhaps you'd like to get to know me better. And we can build a nice little community in there and build this budget, because more people need to hear this. More people need to hear Santos Bonacci and Dr. Robert Morse and Dr. Gabriel Cousins and Michael Cremo and Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. and Priscilla Bankston and Layla Salvade and Ronnie Landis, and the list goes on and on. We have so many episodes, so much beauty that needs to penetrate eardrums. And so the only way that's going to happen is with a few dollars to get on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and start pumping it. And let people know that we exist and we can help get people towards inner peace.
Thanks for listening to Inner Peace with Dr. Reese. If this episode opened your heart, feel free to share on social media and tell your loved ones. Also, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, may peace be with you.